Hi guys, I'm talking about a brand new house on the channel today. Well, not necessarily a brand new house, just new on the channel because I've never spoken about this house before and it's time. I'm talking about THEODOROS KALOTINIS and a new fragrance from this house called Almond Tart, which is an exclusive fragrance for Luckyscent. Find out all about Almond Tart coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sebastian, talking to you today about THEODOROS KALOTINIS' latest fragrance called Almond Tart, exclusively selling at Luckyscent. If you want to find out more about the house or this fragrance, I have a link in the info box to Luckyscent. You can go check it out over there. But I've sampled the fragrances of this house. I really enjoy Coffee Addict, Lemon Tart, even Pear Gelato, but really never spoke about the house because everybody else was talking about it. But it's time, as I said, and I'm glad to be starting to speak about it with the latest exclusive fragrance for Luckyscent called Almond Tart. Let me know if you've gotten your nose on this. Let me know if you're familiar with the brand. Add a comment below. But Almond Tart is a 2024 launch. As I said, it's exclusively for Luckyscent. It comes in Eau De Parfum concentration and it retails for $95 for a 50 ml. There is a discount code you can take advantage of. The Perfume Guy saves you 10% off over at Luckyscent. So if you're in the market for a new Gourmand fragrance, it's super delicious, by the way. Take advantage of that discount code. So the notes breakdown for this is almonds, vanilla, tart crust, Balinese cacao, butter, and sugar. Don't you guys love the idea of butter in fragrances? You really experience the butter creamy texture in this. Not necessarily like milky creamy, but more of that kind of harder texture, soft texture of butter. Really, when you're wearing it, you get that whole experience. When you first spray the fragrance, you get that whole chocolatey cacao thing happening mixed in with the crust. So it's called Almond Tart, and Almond Tart is a delicious dessert. I absolutely love anything with nutty notes or ingredients in desserts. I'm a fan of. So Almond Tart is a really delicious experience for me. But in this perfume, you get that crust and the chocolate. You get a kind of a chocolate effect, but it's nicely buttery textural in this fragrance. So you don't experience it milky, but more like a harder texture, but smooth and creamy at the same time. So the chocolate kind of disappears, vanillic notes takes over, and the almonds comes in as well. You get a nice combination of lots of almonds. It's very nutty. So the idea of the butter, the sugar, the chocolate, the almonds, all together is perfect. It's a delicious combination. But what happens with this fragrance is, as I'm wearing it, it gives me some hints of other fragrances. And most importantly, I get a fruitiness from this. I think it's the overdose of almonds in here, creating a bit of a cherry vibe, which I think is a really delicious combination because you can make a really delicious, tart, an almond tart, and then cover it up with cherries. So not only do you have almonds, you get the cherries as well. So a bit of fruitiness with mostly that kind of doughy and nutty and buttery combo. Sweet lover, and of course, a gourmand lover as well. I can't tell you how wonderful the wearing experience of this fragrance is. It's just a great cloud of intoxicating, gooey gourmand deliciousness. But honestly, as I have to say, it does give me cherry vibes quite a bit. Reminds me of a few other cherried fragrances. Most importantly, the most famous ones like Lost Cherry, maybe a little bit of cherry punk without the leather and things like that. But the cherry is very prominent. There's major cherry fruitiness here. And I think it's the fact that the fragrance is overdosed with almonds and you're getting a bit of a cherry. It doesn't last too long, just like the cacao, because the cacao starts off right up top for me. I get the chocolatiness, the cacao experience, almost like when you've actually baked, when you're like mixing butter and sprinkling it with cacao, that experience up top happens. And then the almonds and vanilla comes in and the sugar. And then that's when the cherries pop. I don't know if I should have said that, but that's what happens with that fragrance. But oh my God, it's really delicious. It's super delicious and wears so great. I actually took this fragrance with me to a family visit recently. That's all I was wearing it at the house, hanging out with my mom. We were baking, cooking, and things like that. And it smelled super, super amazing on me. I've mentioned that I'm a bit bored of cherries, and the cherries were a surprise in this fragrance, but a good surprise because I like the experience of ingredients that I've used to cook and bake with. And the butter is a really wonderful addition to this. And the fact that you experience that textural experience of the butter. So it's sort of creamy, but not necessarily milky. It's got a bit of a harder texture, but smooth. Really wonderful gourmand note that I'd love to experience a lot more. So here, it's almost like you're wearing a real dessert, but it's not necessarily just an almond tart. It's an almond cherry tart. At least that's what it is for me. Let's quickly smell it on strip, and I'm going to spray it on skin as well, tell you a little bit more. But I'm quite impressed with the quality. And again, the cherries were a bit of a surprise for me because I was expecting almonds. You get the almonds, and then the surprise of the cherries pops through. But here on the strip, the butter and cacao is quite happening. I mean, I can't believe the whole butter and cacao thing because I've actually mixed a lot of cacao, sprinkled it on butter that I've mixed. That whole realistic smell is quite fantastic here. So amazing, guys. This is really, really great. It's a gourmand in the end, and I think there's some people out there that don't appreciate gourmands. I can understand, but some people say, oh, why do you want to smell like food? Well, why not, right? I love to eat food. I love sweet treats. And I love smelling like sweet treats because it's so comforting. That's what I like about it. Because as I was saying, I went to my mom's, I visited family, I hung out. It's a very comforting experience for me because I go back home. Moms always are, a parent that's comforting to me. And of course, mom's cooking is also really, really great. And that's kind of what gourmands do for me. They really put me in a very calm space. I smell the gourmand fragrances and it just relaxes me, and just visualize biting into a really nice almond tart. Fantastic, guys. This is a really, really wonderful offering. And I should say, if you're in the market of a gourmand, definitely check this one out. And the fact that you can actually smell all the ingredients, the nuts, the vanilla, the almonds, I should say, the crust, the doughiness, the cacao, really, really prominent. The butter and the sugar, it's almost like you're baking with all these ingredients. And that's what really makes this fragrance very magical. And then the surprise addition of the cherries, I think it's a really nice surprise. Again, I wasn't expecting the cherries. It's a nice surprise. You might experience it or you might not. But you might be bored of cherries. As I was saying, I'm bored of cherries. But for me, the addition of the cherries as a nice surprise was really, really wonderful in this. And it works well. It doesn't linger on too long. You experience all of the notes. But as I said, the cherries pop through. And it smells amazing. And I think for the holidays also, this is a great fragrance for you to try because there is that whole holiday-ish baking vibe. This is the time of year when people are baking a lot of yummy treats. And when you're, experiencing something that you actually, wear the ingredients and it forms the dessert for you, I think that's a really great experience. So I want to check out more of the fragrances of this house. I know Coffee Addict, as I said. I know Lemon Tart and also Pear Gelato. But what else do you guys recommend from this house? What's great? I think Coffee Addict probably is the most popular. And again, I've gotten my nose on it here and there. I've even received samples. Never really decided to review the fragrance, but I think it's a great fragrance here, Almond Tart, to start reviewing this house. But do let me know what else you'd like to see on the channel. Put a comment down below and let me know if you've sampled Almond Tart or if you plan on getting your nose on it. Put a comment below so I can find out. And of course, do let me know what fragrances I should check out from the house. Maybe I'll do another video overview of the fragrances of this house. But don't skip out on this one. It's Almond Tart and it does give you the cherry vibe, but I think it's definitely one of my favorite gourmands of the year. I just wish I had it to feature it in that gourmand video I did a few weeks ago. Or I think it was a week ago, but you'll be hearing a lot more about this because I think that it's a really delicious take on a gourmand dessert in fragrance form. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video on THEODOROS Kalotinis. I hope I'm saying his name right. If you guys didn't know, I actually lived in Greece for a while when I was a kid. So I didn't learn a lot of the language, but a little bit of it. And of course, maybe I'm pronouncing it right, maybe I'm not, but hopefully I am. But either way, thanks so much for watching today's video on THEODOROS KALOTINIS Almond Tart. Please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. And again, if you're in the market for this, you want to get a sample or a bottle, there is that discount code, which is the Perfume Guy, and saves you 10% off. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.